Hi. Let me just move this a little bit. Ooh, okay. So, this is a fun little video where I just finished my sketchbook and reflect on the past year, and specifically reflect on what I learned in the past year. But hi, if you're new to this channel, my name's Julia, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I'm just making art, making music, having fun, because yeah, those are things that bring me joy, and I'm trying to build a joyful life. Yeah, so I want to talk about the things I've learned in 2025, or just the past year in general, I guess, about being an artist. Let's get started. And I am also finishing this sketchbook. I have literally this one page left to paint something in, and it's like one of the last pages in the book, and it says handmade in Italy. So I thought it might be cool to paint a photo that I took in Italy. And I was looking through my photos and it was so hard to decide, what do I feel like painting? Like, I don't know if I really feel like painting a landscape, or if I really feel like painting this or that. Like, I was thinking about, oh, should I paint the spaghetti that I had in Rome, or like the pasta I had in Florence, or a landscape from Arezzo? I don't know. But I ended up deciding on painting this cat that I met in Perugia. And I remember getting off the train and I was walking into like the downtown area of the town, and this cat was just there. And I was like, oh my God, hi little kitty. And then she ran away because she was scared, but I got a photo of her before she ran away. So I'm gonna paint this cat that I met in Italy, because this is handmade in Italy, and I thought that would be cute and fun. So let's get started. So first I'm gonna use this color. Let me show you. You can't really see. I think I'm gonna start out by painting the background. I'm not gonna show you the whole process of this, because I first of all, I only have 14 minutes. Oh, brushes should I use? This one. Start with the big areas. Yeah, I'm not really going to show you the entire process because I only have like 14 minutes left on my camera, and also just, you don't really want to see the whole process, do you? I have videos going through the whole process of my painting. They haven't been doing well, so I don't think you want to see the whole process. So basically, I'm gonna water this down and start. So, what have I learned in 2025? I think first of all, the first thing I learned, to keep it light and start off with something that's kind of like, just, you know, simple, not too serious, that I learned that acrylic paint markers are great and I should use them. I got some Posca markers. Well, not just some. I got a lot of Posca markers for my birthday because my mom insisted. I was like, you don't need to get me anything for my birthday. Mom's like, no, I need to. What do you want? And I was like, oh, I guess I want to try some Posca acrylic paint markers. And then she got me like a lot of them. And I've been using them, and honestly, I want to use them more. They are really, the hype is there, and the hype makes sense. The hype is so valid for them. So that's something I learned. What's another tool? Oh, also Arches watercolor paper is, yeah, the paper. When you're using wash or watercolor, the paper matters so much, and Arches is really honestly the best. And it's expensive, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep on using it, because I do think I can make good art on not Arches paper, but you know. See, how far down is that? That's like a little bit further down. I'm just trying to block in the colors here. But yeah, now let's get a little more serious. On a more serious note, I think something else I learned in 2025 was that not only is failure like not personal, failure can be redirection, but also failure can just be like bad luck. Like, I got rejected from something and I wasn't like devastated. It was just kind of annoying because I was like, I think my idea was very great. My idea for this proposal was very great. And then I got rejected, and it was very annoying also because the day they said they were gonna give us feedback was not the day that they reached out to me. So I was like, that's so rude, it's so mean. So now I'm going in here with a darker green just to just a note, that's what I'm doing. Going in here with like a dark green to kind of get some the greens in. But yeah, they didn't reach out to me on that day, which is really annoying. But I think the truth is why I didn't get that opportunity wasn't because my submission was bad, it was because there was a lot of competition that was better, or maybe somebody chose a similar idea to mine and just did it better. I think the truth is they were just looking for more experienced artists, and I'm not that. I think they were just looking for something that I am not, and that's how it is. I think when you're applying to something, I think rejection is a lot of the time a result of somebody looking for something that you are just not, and that's the way it is, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But other times, yeah, I think rejection is absolutely just redirection. And I think this year, like, I did some markets, I did some farmers markets, and I absolutely flopped at them. There were some where I didn't even make my fee back. And I think I learned farmers markets are not the space for my art, because people are going there to buy food and they don't want art there. I think a lot of people were like, oh my God, your art's so pretty, I love your art. But then I didn't get a lot of sales because I don't think people are really in the market for art in that space. Okay, gotta get some more color in. Hell yeah. Okay, and then that's there. Trying to get some, ooh, that would be there. This is what I got. This is what's going on right now. Barely anything, but you know, a start. I think we're gonna have to, okay, yeah, we gotta I'm gonna kind of go around like where the cat would be and then add the cat in. Yeah, go around the outline with it. Something else I think I learned this year is that you really, when you're growing an art business, you really have to be patient. And also within being patient, it can kind of almost feel like when growth is really slow, it can kind of feel embarrassing. Being an artist can feel embarrassing sometimes because it's gonna take a long time. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's very slow growth. And so for me, it's like, I tell people, yeah, I'm an artist, because that's the main thing I'm focusing on in my life right now. Like, I have another job, but that's not the focus of my life. And I only do that other job part-time. And so that's why I tell people, but I'm not full-time yet because it takes a long time. And I think the process does take it's a long-term process. And I think a lot of people aren't prepared for that. And I mean, I was prepared for it, but yeah, I think I'm just starting to kind of see more growth as an artist. But you know, it takes time. It does take time. I think another thing I learned is consistency can be the hardest part, but it is really truly the most important part. Like just showing up consistently, whether it's on this YouTube channel, whether it's at art markets. And I think through consistency, that's when you have your successes and your failures, and then that's when you learn things. I think like I used to be so, I think this kind of goes along with like being patient, but I used to like get so frustrated by a setback and that would hold me back for a while. But now it's like, okay, we gotta regroup, we gotta see what we can do better. It's a lot of hard work, and yeah, it's definitely a huge challenge because I think for a lot of people, they expect it to kind of be this linear growth, and it's not, and there's so many ups and downs. But no, I am really happy that I think 2025 was like one of the first years where I really, well, in 2024 I made a lot of art too, but in 2025 I think I really was dedicated a lot to growing my art as a business, like for the first time in a while. And I think that really showed because I did make a decent amount of money, but I also had to spend a lot of money. And I think that's another thing I've learned is that people say it, but I think when it comes to running an art business, it's so true, or running any type of business or building anything for yourself, it's that you have to make money to spend money. And you do have to like think about where you're spending your money, and keeping track of the business side is so much work when you're not naturally a businessy person, but it's so important because, you know, you have to pay taxes. Oh, that's a big stroke. I don't know if I like that. I'm like avoiding doing the cat. It looks so rough right now. Ah! I'm really avoiding doing the cat in this. You know, I should just plop the cat in. That sounds weird out of context. I need a brown color. If I mix this with the green, then we get like, okay, that's like a nice shade of brown. Okay, it's a nice shade of brown. I feel like I did learn a lot about color theory this year. That's another thing. That's more about the art side than the business side, but I did learn about color theory a lot and about how, I don't know, I mean, I've really been learning a lot about color theory a lot over time. I feel like about how, you know, mixing your own colors from scratch can really improve your painting. But there are times to use pre-mixed colors, of course. Of course, there's times to use pre-mixed colors. There's a time for everything. I think another thing, I mean, I don't know, I've always known this, but I think something that is something I've learned, I guess, is like to respect how long it takes to create something and just show up and put the time in and respect that it takes that time. And to show up and, you know, make sure you're putting the time in. So this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at right now in the painting. Very, very, very rough, as you can tell, but I will come back in a second and show you the finished painting. I'm so sorry that the audio was just so completely messed up at the end there. I don't know what happened, but let me show you the finished sketchbook page. This is the finished sketchbook page. I love it. It is honestly one of my favorite, I think, if not my favorite page in this sketchbook. It is so pretty. It looks so nice. I love the little gold frame I did around it. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's that. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, if you had a good time, leave me a comment, maybe subscribe, maybe like. It would be nice. And I just recorded it actually. I'm going to be posting a sketchbook tour soon, so stay tuned for that. And I also make music. I will be entering the Tiny Desk concert this year. Please subscribe if you'd like to see that. And yeah, I would love if you stuck around. So thank you for watching and have a great night or day or morning. Whatever time of day it is where you are. Yeah, much love. Bye.